Hi, welcome to another Backstreet Heroes video, and this one on a bike that you've probably never even heard of. This is the MBP C1002V, which I agree is not a particularly catchy name, has since been called 3PO because it's easier to say, isn't it, and quicker than C1002V. Honestly, they could have given it a catchier name. But this is quite a beastie. It's a 1000cc V-twin. It's possibly the biggest bike the Chinese have ever made. It's made by the parent company's Keyway, and they've set up MBP to make this, and also there'll be an adventure bike with the same motor. It should be quite a thing. It is a bit of a monster. It's a proper power cruiser. It makes about 95 horsepower, 75 foot-pound of torque. It's got, as you can see on the front here, it's got upside downies and radial brakes. It's got cool exhaust pipes, stacked exhaust pipes. Far too quiet, obviously, as these things always are. It's also incredibly difficult to keep clean because you can see the shortness of that back mudguard. But we've all got washing machines and soap and water, haven't we? So I've been riding it around. I got it 125 miles a clock. It's now got 620 something on it, and it's actually a nice thing to ride. I've done some big distances. I think I've got a 22 litre tank, so it does quite a good tank range. It doesn't have stonk along. It's allegedly claimed top speed is 123. Obviously, policemen don't like you doing that, so I haven't been up there at all, officer. I've accidentally hit 90 without any trouble at all, and it just pulls like a train, and it cruises at motorway speeds quite happily and gives you fairly good fuel consumption as well, which isn't bad for a 1000cc V-twin. It's a nice looking thing. I get hints of Ducati's Diavel, which is another of the mega power cruisers, and this one is obviously significantly cheaper. Its main rivals being the sort of, the 1100 Rebel from Honda, the Triumph, I think the Rebel's 9.9, the Triumph Bobber, which is about 13, the Indian, which is Scout, which is about 12 and a bit, and of course the Diavel itself, which is £24,000. In comparison, you could almost buy 3 of these, and I'm not saying you could have more fun on the Ducati, but I mean a pretty damn good go on one of these, because it is good. Right, let me just wander around and I'll get you another bit of footage from the back. And we're off again. This is the other side. Obviously all V-twins are handed and the right hand side always look better, but it's worth having a look. And you get to see the size of that back tyre. It's a 240 rear tyre, so it's got, all the bells and whistles that a big cruiser should have. It's also got this fantastic dashboard. It's not a bike you ever want to try and do a bank job on, because by the time the dash is actually fired up, they could have called the police from several miles away, and you'd be nicked some. But it's a nice bike. It really is. I'm quite impressed with it. I mean, the first thing you hear is Chinese, isn't it? But actually, it's a really good little bike, and the specification is really high. It's got ABS, it's got power modes, it's got digital fuel injection, it's got Bosch everything. It's got belt drive on the rear, so it's got a big tank. It's got, as you can see from that incredibly complicated thing, it's got cruise control and various other information bits. And I'll turn this on because it is really quite spectacular. It's a full 5-inch, what they call it, TFT dashboard. And as I say, you wouldn't want to do a bank job because by the time it all fires up, see what I mean? Takes forever. Anyhow, going through its checks. That's it on night mode, and there we have day mode. It's finally coming. And down on the left hand side you've got tyre pressures, and if you press the button it comes up with range. It's got basically everything you'd need to have on it, really. Trip meters and all that sort of thing. There's your modes on that button there. Basically I've got it in sport. You can just about read it in green on sport. It just changes the fueling and the mapping slightly so that it accelerates a bit harder, which it doesn't do particularly shabbily anyway. Let alone when you put it in sport. But no, I'm impressed. It's an incredibly good little bike, and it is little, even though it's a 1000cc cruiser, and it looks massive when you do it like this. But it's actually, the seat height is about 26 inches, which is, when you consider that the new Kawasaki 500 Eliminator has got a 29-inch seat, and this is 26. I mean, I used to build stuff so it had 25-inch seats because that's really comfortable. So this isn't far off that. Pam got on it the other day and went, "Oh, isn't it tiny?" So actually, if you're over 6 foot, you might struggle a bit. But anybody else, this is a damn good little bike. I say £9.5 grand. I don't think it's bad money at all. We're off to do the riding shots just on the statics this morning for the featuring next issue of Backstreet Heroes. So you'll be able to see a full review of it there. But we thought we'd just give you a quick walk around so you can see what it's actually like. And say I'm quite impressed. I think it's quite a good bike personally.